I was terrible when I first started. I remember on my first 10 and under select team, I was probably sitting the bench almost every game until I decided when I said I wanted to pitch.
In life, we like to choose our paths, but sometimes things outside of our control send us down another.
I actually started playing softball because I was kicked off my soccer team. So my mom said, let's try out a different sport, and I tried out softball. I was pitching at Nationals when I was 13 years old. I all of a sudden got a call from Nebraska my first day of freshman year, and they called me and said, we want to offer you a full ride 5-year scholarship. I was one of the youngest players to ever get an offer. I couldn't believe it, and I ended up accepting about 2 months later after an unofficial visit. And I absolutely loved it at Nebraska, everything. And all of a sudden, literally after a year after my offer, I just started to struggle. I was a pitcher and I was pitching and I just started throwing the ball high. I was throwing it in the dirt, off to the side, and I was like, what's going on? And then I broke my leg. So just things kept piling up. I was really devastated. All of a sudden when I came back from my injury from my leg, I could pitch perfectly fine again. Everything was fine and everyone was like, woo, congrats, great, I'm pitching.
Finding herself at a crossroad of success, injury, and uncertainty, her love for the game was tested once again. A stress fracture to her dominant arm only added to her troubles.
I was struggling with my pitching right when I came from that. It was senior year, and all of a sudden Nebraska called me a week before signing day. We just lost in the state tournament, 3rd place.
Uncomfortable, devastated, uncertain. Nebraska was no longer an option. Injuries caused her full scholarship to be taken away. Although never before seeing herself at a JUCO, the Highland Community College's faith in her put Kane back on track.
I want to help you. I want to get your pitching down. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get you to where you want to be, a big D1 school. And I said, okay, let's do it.
She tried different doctors, trainers, routines, and even good old-fashioned time, but none of them fixed what was broken, her spirit. 10 years later, her skill set seemed to be moving in reverse, and she would never pitch the same again. The same coach that pulled her out of the dark was now directing her to a bigger stage.
I played there for 2 years, and I absolutely loved it. I loved my JUCO. She ended up calling up Syracuse and said, you should take a look at this kid. And she ended up talking to the coach, and the coach was like, we're gonna offer a walk-on position, and I couldn't have been more excited. Since I've been at Syracuse, it has totally been a blessing. I've absolutely loved it here. It's a dream come true. I came and I literally thought I was going to be sitting on the bench every single game. My mom even texted me and she goes, Faith, it's gonna be okay. If you're sitting on the bench, it's all good. And I just remember I just was playing and I was like, oh my gosh, it was just a dream. I couldn't believe I was living out my dream, traveling the country, playing the game I love.
You could kind of summarize why you love the game of softball. How would you put it all together in words?
Oh gosh. I love this game more than anything. I used to think it was kind of my identity, but I figured out, it isn't. It's a game I love to play, and I just love the feeling when I'm out on the field and just the crack of the bat right when it hits the right spot, for a home run, or just when you make that amazing play or stretch or whatever. It's just amazing being able to celebrate with all your teammates and be able to travel the country, and you literally live, breathe, die together. And just even conditioning, even though it's terrible, it's just you guys are dying together, and it's just a huge group, big family, and I just love the game.
Do you ever see a point in your life where softball wouldn't be a part of it?
Well, next year, I'll be done with softball after next year, which will be sad, but I actually am at a point in my life where I'm just I'm ready. Because I felt I've literally done everything I possibly can to get to the place where I want to be. I think softball will always be on my mind, but I will understand that it's not a part of my life anymore. I think it's time to let it go.